get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 3 gang, y'all. Let's get it, y'all. Part 3 gang, y'all. Let's get like, share, subscribe to y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Man, that jump was crazy, man. He said my little sister went up with 15 when he was messing with her. I was like, what? He said, yeah, he know it. Right now, my little sister ain't up with 17, and he's still in contact with her. I was like, so you let him mess with your little sister? That's what you telling me? He was like, I'm locked up. I ain't supposed to do anything. I'm locked up. Yeah, my other sister told me that he messed with her. He be buying her stuff and everything, man. He said he wanted to start working up here when she turned 18. I was like, what? He was like, yeah. I was like, he said, ain't he married? Yeah, he ain't nothing, man. Yeah, so that's why he would do what I say, because he know I know, man. I said, but didn't he would think your sister would tell you this information? He was like, nah, because my little sister don't mess with me like that. My little sister don't mess with me like that, but he knew I found out. He don't want me to tell his wife, so I'd make him do stuff. I'm like, shh, man, that joke great. Tim was like, shh, man, look, man, I still don't care, man. Like, I mean, respectfully, man, on your sister and all, like, but I still gotta get this tobacco, man. So, like, like, you still gonna answer the question? What we gonna do? We gonna get along, or we gonna get it on? Which one we gonna do? He was like, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you, but I just told you what I got on this dude, and you finna act like you want to mess with him, man. He said, you think I want to mess with him, man? He said, I'm bribing him because I have to. He messed with one of my family members, man. I was like, shh. Like, Sergeant M looked like one of those dudes, though. Like, when I started looking at him after we got that information, like, he looked like one of those dudes that one of them old heads that's going to trick all his money off on a woman, and she could be young, and he going to probably trick the money even more. Like, he just had that look, man. He had that real, like, I'm weak when it comes to women look, man. Like, he looked like he was a pipsqueak when it comes to the ladies, man. And, like, I seen his type before. And as I looked at him, I was like, he looked like a dude that'll fall for a girl that's younger than she is. After she tell him the truth, he'll still mess with her, man. I was like, man, like, he's a real statutory officer. I said, man, this dude crazy. He belong in here with us on the low, y'all. So, boom. Still, though, like Tim said, though, man, like, right now, at this very moment, like, he got to keep bringing that tobacco. I know that sounds harsh, but we in penitentiary, y'all. There's a lot of officers that work in there that probably done brought the pack and did all type of crazy things that we don't know about. But they still got to bring the pack, man. So, like, despite whatever Chambers said, we get why Chambers got him in the headlock, because he don't want dude to tell his wife. But at the same time, though, man, I just still felt like Tim did, man. Like, you got to share the job. I'm like, look, man. So at the end of the day, bro, we rocking with him, man. So you do whatever you want to do. He was like, all right. He walked out. When he walked out, Tim was like, man, I'm telling you, man, me and that dude gonna fight, man. Because I don't know what that visit was about. Anyway, I was like, yo, this man just came to my cell and told us that crazy. I was like, man, that's wild right there, man. He was like, man, Tim started laughing. Tim was like, man, it ain't funny though, Slim. He was like, man, but man, Sergeant M looked like one of them type of dudes. I was like, bro, I said, bro, he do though. I said, man, Sergeant M look like he weak, man. He just look weak, you know what I mean? So I'm like, this junk wild, man. So he was like, man, for real. He was like, man, I gotta holler at Sergeant M. I said, bro, be careful what you say to him, because he might go back and tell dude, man. So, like, just be mindful of that, man. He was like, yeah, I know, but I'm gonna still go holler at him, though, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna still go holler at him tomorrow, man. Make sure everything, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right. So he dipped. Me and him finished handling business. He ended up leaving. So we got the tobacco. We in that junk getting to the bag. That's what we doing. We got roll-ups for days. We out that junk getting to the money. You know what I mean? So we going in with the tobacco. So the whole time we going in with the tobacco, I just see dude keep watching us, like, you know what I mean? Like, he got this look on his face that he just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, why he keep looking at us like this, but he just keep watching. He's watching me, especially. Like, Tim moving around, but I'm moving around a little bit more than Tim, so he's like, he watching me. So as I came from the door, I felt like I'm at the front door. I'm talking to a dude over in 63 Pod, so I'm at the window talking to a dude at the door. And, we doing sign language and stuff, so he talking about buying the tobacco. So I'm standing at the door like this, but The whole time I'm at the door, I just feel like somebody watching me. Like, you know how you could feel like eyeballs on you from the back, pause. Like, I just felt it. I was like, I'm gonna catch him in the act. So I was talking to the dude. I was like, yeah, so, you know what I mean? I spun like this. I was like, I said, yo, man. I said, yo, why you keep looking at me like that, Chambers? He was like, what? I said, why you keep looking at me like that? He was like, man, ain't nobody looking at you, man. I said, man, listen, man, I see you looking at me, bro. I said, everything good? I ain't do nothing to you, man, by the way. He was like, oh, nah, me and you, we ain't got no problems. He made sure he said, me and you, we ain't got no problems. I said, all right, man, I'm trying to make sure, man, like you wildin'. So I get back to the door, you know what I mean? Handle my business, I leave. So when I leave, I go up the stairs, I do something. I'm like, man, I'm about to go holler at Tim. So I holler at Tim. I said, yo, what's going on? You holler at the dude, Sergeant M? Yeah, he said, nah, he working 40 building. He was like, he said he'd be over here tomorrow, though. I was like, man, this is crazy. I said, dude, keep watching me. He said, yeah, he been watching me all day, too. I don't know what he watching. I don't know what he watching for. So I'm like, man, I can't wait for you to holler at Sergeant M and see what's going on. He said, I'm going to holler at him when we go to dinner. Yeah, he said, I'm going to holler at him when we go to dinner. So we chilled for a little bit more, and it was time for dinner. We went to dinner. So when I come back from dinner, I'm already in the cell when I came back. I'm in the cell. I had knock at the door. It's Tim. Tim coming to John. I'm like, yo. I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm like, come in, bro. So he come in, walk in. He was like, man, look. He said, man, I hollered. He sat there. He like, I got to sit down for this one, man. He sat down. He said, man, look, I done hollered at Sergeant M. He said, man, I asked Sergeant M, man, like, is he out there messing with them young girls, man? That was the first question. I said, for real? He was like, yeah, I asked him that, man. He said, Sergeant M was like, oh, you talked to Chambers, huh? He was like, yeah, I talked to him, man. Yeah, I talked to him, man. But you know, is it true, man? Is it true? He said, man, Sergeant M was like, man, look, God honest truth was, he didn't know his sister was young. He was like, man, his sister looked old. He was like, his sister was super old. He was like, look, he asked me, I had access to a cell phone. He was like, go look at her Facebook and you can see how old she looked. You know what I mean? She don't look like she's 17 right now. He was like, did you, like, when you found out her age? He was like, man, I found out her age after he was clapping her, like, for a while. You know what I mean? So he was like, that's when he found out the age. So I'm like, man, I don't really care about this. I'm like, yo, so he was like, yo, so dude told you all that. Like, he was putting it like, Tim was putting it like, Sergeant M was mad that Chambers told all the business, you know what I mean? So he was like, he told you all that. Oh yeah, he was like, man, look, man. He was like, man, guess what he told me though, man? I was like, what? He said, man, he told me, man, if I can get rid of Chambers, man. He said, man, me and him can go in business exclusively, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? He was like, yeah. I'm like, how you gonna get rid of him though? Like, he was like, man, if I beat him up, he gonna fight back and we both gonna go to the hole. You know, then I might get out. Then you can handle the business until I get out. I'm like, I'm listening to the plan. I'm like, I don't know, bro. He was like, I mean, you know, like, for real, I don't want to lay my hands on him. You know, I ain't tell Sergeant M that. He was like, to be honest with you, I don't want to put hands on him though, because I'm gonna go to the hole. I know I'm gonna go to the hole because I'm gonna overbeat him. He was like, when I fight, I overbeat, so I'm gonna overbeat him, man. So I don't even want to put my hands on him. I'm like, man. He looked at me. I was like, yo, bro, listen, we on Lawrenceville, bro. I said, the last thing that I'm thinking about is being somebody else's hitman, y'all. So boom. He was like, I was just joking. I said, I ain't with all that activity, bro. I said, I ain't got nothing but $150 invested into what we got going on. I said, man, listen, I ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. I said, I ain't getting rid of nobody for the police, bro. You know what I mean? I said, because, you know, that's not gonna work out. That's not gonna work out. He was like, it's gonna work out, man. I'm gonna think of something, man. I'm gonna think of plan B, like, you know, I'm gonna try to think of something, though, like I can try to put something together, though, man. He was like, man, for real, got these two dudes that I rock with in 70 building. He was like, I know for a fact, one of them will go over there and fight him for a 50 sack of tobacco. He was like, man, I was like, you sure, man? He was like, yeah, I just want him to fight him and then get him out the pod. That's it. Just beat him up and get him out the pod. I'm like, man, all right. Like, I mean, if it worked, you know what I mean? We definitely back in the car, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, man, I mean, man, like, for real, bro, he was like, for real, I'm gonna try it, though, man. He was like, I'm gonna give him a 50 sack, man. He said, they gonna 229 over here, man. I'm gonna get him out of here, man. So I was like, man, hopefully that plan worked, man. I was like, because for real, I'm getting tired of Chambers too, man. I was like, he watching me, I'm making plays, and he watching me and stuff. I was like, I ain't got time for that, man. He was like, I'm about to holler at my homeboy. So he waited till he can go to dinner, he holler at dude, you know what I mean, whoever this dude was. So I didn't know that plan was gonna work, or if dude was gonna agree to it, or anything. All I know is when we came back from China, I was out in the pod chilling. He came back in the pod, he seen me, he was like, hey, dude said he'll be over here tomorrow, it's gonna be sweet tomorrow too. He said he coming over here after lunch. You know what I mean? It's after lunch. Now, the after lunch fighting policy was just perfect for Lawrenceville. Like, it was like, basically like Lawrenceville was made for people to get their butt whipped after lunch, man. And I say that because it's just so bootleg. Like, it's bootleg to the point where you can 229. Like, people, when I say 229, that means you're in an unauthorized area, like you're in another pod, you're in the hallway, you're outside. Those places where you don't supposed to be is called 229. You know what I mean? The charges are 229, but we call it 229. But at the end of the day, man, like it was like after lunch was made for 229, man. Like it was just so bootleg, like you just can't get caught now. If you have people that's working your building that care about if you're in this pod or if you're in this building and stuff like that, then you have a chance of definitely getting caught. But if you have the COs that's working, that's really like leaning, really, really cool, they're not worrying about if you 229 or whatever the case, they're not gonna bother you, man. So once we go eat, from my side, I'm talking about my side of the yard, but just say 80 building go eat. 80 building go eat. It's always going to be scragglers leaving out. It's always going to be scragglers in there still eating or just waiting for another building to come. So 70 building might go after 80 building. Then we're going to be last 60 building. It can still be people from each one of those buildings that went before us still in the chow hall eating. The police ain't going to say nothing to them. They can just be still sitting there just chilling. So when we get in there, like whoever want to come in our pod or any pod from our building, they can just leave out with us. When we get to the building, like as long as you don't let a CO that know you see you going in our joint, and you can go into the joint. So the 229 game was crazy when it came down to people getting their butt whooped, y'all. So boom. So that's what all you would see. You would see dudes 229 at lunch when it came down to getting them hands right. So he told me dude was gonna be over here after lunch. So he told me who the dude was. I didn't really know a lot of people on this side of the yard. So I didn't know who the dude was. I don't know if he was from Northern Virginia or from Richmond. I don't know where he was from. But he told me who the dude was. I didn't know who he was. I didn't see dude until dude came in the pod. So we chilling. So waited with the breakfast. Everything was smooth. Sergeant M is working. You know what I mean? Tim that said something to him. You see the other dude talking to him. Chambers talking to him. So everybody in there doing them. The tobacco in the pod heavy because now I think Chambers got the tobacco too. So everybody in that joint chilling, man. So the lady called standby for child. So when she called standby for child, I looked at Tim. Tim had looked kind of happy. Tim walked up. He looked at me. He was like, he gave me a look like, I was like, yeah, today the day. It's about to be lunch. You know what I mean? It's about to be lunch. So it's exit out for child. So we go to chow hall, walking to chow hall, going over there, Johnny got hamburger. We going over there. As we get to inside the chow hall, Tim was beside me. Tim was in front of me. He was like, look, he leaned back. He was like, hey, you see the dude over there? They got the afro, the tall dude, kind of tall dude. I'm like, yeah. He was like, yeah, that's the one right there. I looked, I was like, I don't know, man. I said, but he looked like a maniac, though. He looked like a freaking low down, dirty, rotten, crazy vato. I said, but I like that, though. I said, man, I hope he get the job done, man. I hope he get the job done, bro. He was like, man, he gonna get the job done. He gonna get the job done, man. So Tim went over there. Tim ain't say nothing to him. I guess it was time for everybody to leave. We getting up to leave. I seen Tim handle something. So I guess that was the 50 side. You know what I mean? So we leave out. So we go back to the building. I go back to the joint. I'm standing up there by the laundry dude. Like, I don't want to tell the laundry dude that this is about to happen. You know what I mean? But the laundry dude, he trying to hit a roll up. He trying to get a roll up. Every now and then I'll mess with a roll up with him. Cause his cell, where he sit at with the laundry area is right by my cell. So I'll just be like, yo, come on. So he like, man, come on. He just ate. So he tried to definitely hit a roll up. I'm like, yo, bro, chill. He like, wow. I'm like, bro, listen, I ain't trying to miss what's about to happen. He like, what's about to happen? I'm like, chill out, man. So I didn't want to really tell him, like, because I didn't even know if dude was gonna come in the pod yet. So as we just all right there talking, like, as I'm telling him, like, I'm chilling, you know what I mean? I looked up, I seen Tim come in first. Tim go straight to his cell. Probably like 2 minutes later, I looked up, I just seen the tall dude come in. He had a jacket, but I seen the fro. So he come in, he like, he blended in right over there by where the closet at, where the cleaning supplies at. He stood over there with some dudes who was just like, you know what I mean? So I guess they told him, like, let's go sit at the table. So he went and sat at the table, you know what I mean? Kind of blend in. So he at the table, they sitting there, you know, so I seen Tim come out. Tim came out the cell. I guess Tim got down, like, pointing over to, with his head, like, yo, dude cell right there. You know what I mean? So dude sitting there for a while. He sat there for a while. He let everything happen with child. Everybody come back for child. Because his next escape is going to be outside rec, 2 o'clock. That's the only way he's going to be able to escape. So that's why these people that be coming over to fight in 229, when I was telling y'all how I go, the only other escape is when you go outside rec. Then you can escape then. And you just mixed in with the CO, all the inmates again, and you can leave out or whatever the case. So he was sitting at the table. As he was sitting at the table, you just seen him come out his jacket. He was like, I was like, dude, kind of decent. Pause. He come out his jacket. He was like, set it right there. Took his orange hat off. He got up. He started walking over there towards dude's cell. I looked. I was like, he walked straight over there by dude's cell. He walked over there. He looked. He ain't going there first. He was like, he said the cut was right there. He was like, he knocked on the door. As soon as he knocked on the door, I don't know what happened, but I guess somebody said, come in, or whatever the case. He opened the door. When he opened the door, it was quiet in that joint at first. So I started on top. I was like, yo, hey, look. I tell the laundry man, he was over by the laundry. I said, come here. He was like, what? I said, bro, look, I think the dude Chambers about to get beat up, bro. I said, there's a dude all the way from 70 building in here about to fight him, bro. He was like, where he at? He's in his cell. He was like, he been in here. I was like, man, yeah, he been in here. He been in here. So then he'll talk. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, they like, all you hear is boom, boom, boom. You hear the door again, boom. Come on, what's up? Come on. I don't know who voice that was. All you was, come on. Boom. So everybody getting closer to the jump, like, what the heck going on with that jump? I see Tim like this by his door. Tim like, you check, he looking sideways because he looking that way. My word, they in that jump dumping. So you see Chambers' roommate come up. He was like, they fighting. He was like, man, watch out, man. Don't make it hot. They was in that jump dumping. All you was boom, boom. Man, they was in that jump, man. That jump sounded violent. Man. That's all you heard was, man, all right, man. Then you heard like a 5-piece, like a quick 5-piece. Everybody was like, man, you fuck Chambers up, man. I looked at Tim was like, Tim was over that jump smiling, that's my word. Goddamn, Chambers came out, that bitch, he stepped out, he was like, hey, man. He walked out, this my word, the door opened up, boom. The door opened up, you seen goddamn a nigga from his, all you seen was a nigga back. I looked, it was Chambers. I seen the bald head, I looked. I seen Chambers coming out like this with the nigga. He was dragging the nigga out of the cell. He was like, he put that nigga under the steps. He said, kicked that nigga in his fucking ribs. He was like, yeah, this what he was paid. This what y'all paid him, huh? This what y'all paid him? He's like, how about this? Y'all come fight me then. Yeah, if y'all want to send somebody at me, yeah, y'all come fight me then. He had this in his pocket. So he said that all you hear is, you hear the police noise, looked up, seen Sergeant M coming in. He was like, he went straight to the brick wall. He was like, dude behind the steps though, he can't see dude. So everybody scripting up. I was like, I looked at Tim like, shh. I was like, he talking about y'all. Man, I don't have nothing to do with this, people. So boom. What is he talking about y'all, man? I didn't provide anything to that play, man. I didn't do anything to that play. So I don't know what he's talking about, y'all. Let's get to that. I don't know what he's talking about, man. So I'm on point because I never seen this dude Chambers look this mean. I never seen him go this crazy, man. Like, you know, like it ain't a lot of dudes from like those spots that's close to the prisons that go super duper dumb tough crazy. Like this dude just beat the crap out of somebody and dragged him out of his cell, man, like a whole freaking movie. This dude under the steps beat up. You know what I mean? He done got paid to do a hit and he ended up getting hit. Pause. Like this was crazy. So I'm like, it's John Wild. So I'm gonna point on the top 10. So the dude, larger dude, like, dude, Chambers a rumbling. He was like, man, dude, Chambers a rumbling bitch. I said, bro, that nigga sound like, I said, bro, that was him making all that noise in there. That was him beating the nigga. I said, I thought that was him getting his ass whooped. He was like, hell no. So Tim made his way on the top 10. I'm like, what the fuck Tim doing up here? So he come up there by me. He was like, shh, you see this shit Slim? I was like, man. You know what I mean? So Sergeant dude standing right there. That's all you see is goddamn. The nigga Chambers just walking goddamn pacing by himself. But every now and then he'll look up there at us. He like, I said, man, look, bro. I said, listen, I'm telling you, man. I'm letting you know now. I said, bro, that nigga know that's that 50 sack, bro. I said, I didn't give him a 50 sack. I said, bro, you need to clear me out that shit, Tim, man. I said, man, I'm not getting into it with that fucking psycho over no tobacco, bro. I said, man, that nigga ain't even bringing no la-la, man. I said, man, look, that play you ran, bro. I said, you supposed to got 2 niggas on him, bro. I said, you got him to fight a nigga one-on-one. I said, come on, man. He said, I was just trying to get him out the pod. I said, man, look, that shit didn't work, bro. I said, man, you gotta handle that shit yourself. So goddamn, the dude Chambers was like, that nigga mad as a bitch. That nigga mad as a motherfucker, man. In Lawrenceville be so bootleg. Like, you would hear dudes have public arguments with police. Like, I'm talking about personal arguments, not nothing pertaining to the compound or the sergeant, the CO did this. No, it'd be a personal argument, man. This man was pasting. I knew he was about to do some reckless shit because the sergeant was standing in that motherfucker, man. So the dude was still under the steps looking stupid. Dude looking stupid as a bitch. So the nigga Chambers was like, yeah. And then he walked up to the sergeant. He was like, Yeah, well, you getting motherfuckers to put hits on me now? That's what you doing? You a fucking coward. You a fucking coward for that. He kept going like this. The nigga sergeant was like, man, get your hand out my face. He kept smacking his finger. Get you. He was like, you a coward. You a coward. I got something for cowards, though. Yeah, motherfucker. Best believe your motherfucking wife. I know what the fuck you doing now, motherfucker. He said that shit in front of the whole fucking pod, y'all. So boom. Man, I promise you. Man, sergeant do some. I don't give a fuck. Tell, nigga. Fuck, nigga. Fuck, I'm tired of this shit anyway. Fuck you. And I ain't doing shit for your dumb, ungrateful ass. He was like, fuck you. What the fuck? God damn it. You the one out there fucking messing with young girls. You the one, so everybody just looking like, what the fuck is this about? Nobody knew what the fuck was going on. Nobody knew how this was happening, why this was going on. Nobody knew shit. Niggas was like, yo, this shit crazy as a motherfucker. So as they just standing there arguing, man, like this was wild as a bitch. As they was just standing there arguing, man, you looked up, the dude who ass he whooped. Same nigga that got paid to come put paws on the nigga, got the paws put on his dumb ass. He finally recovered. He got up. So the nigga got down right there at the brick wall, just talking to the fucking sergeant, snapping out on the sergeant. Man, you see the dude get up, dude recover. Dudes ain't even paying him no mind because dude's paying the argument attention. Man, but I seen him get up. He get up from behind the steps. He was like, touched his head. He was like, looked at his eye. He was like, shh. And he just took off running. Nigga start running. And they ran up on that nigga goddamn Chambers. Chambers was like, yeah. That jump was like on Scarface. You remember when Scarface had the gun at the end? He was like, yeah, anybody want to go to war? Come on, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. That nigga ain't watching his back. Man, that's how that dude Chambers was. Chambers was like, yeah, you doing this, you doing that, you messing with kids, you messing with young girls, Chambers going in, he snapping on the sergeant. The whole time he snapping, dude running. Chambers turned around, this is my word, the punch was already coming when Chambers turned around. I saw it. I have a front row view. I'm on the top tier looking at this madness. Man, I promise you, the punch hit Chambers right here. Like, people can get knocked out from the eye and the chin. Like, you know, like those are things that would definitely hurt if you get hit the right way. Man, as he turned around, the punch said, man, that junk smacked him. Man, that junk smacked him. And Chambers said, it looked like his eye was damaged. He was like, dude, Goldberg his ass. Boom. Dude, Goldberg. And they go over there by the first cell, by the shower. They right there by the shower. So Chambers trying to recover. Chambers like, you know what I mean? He hit his back on that. They got like a little slab, like going across 3 showers. You know what I mean? Like kind of like you can step on slightly. Man, his back hit that shit so fucking hard when dude Goldberg, boom, dude tackled his ass. Goddamn, dude got him on top. Dude on top of his ass. Dude trying to work Chambers' ass. He like, boom. So the sergeant, I promise you, man. This ain't funny. I promise you. The sergeant was like, he on a brick wall. When he seen that shit, he was like, dude over there like this. Boom, 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 boom. Dude fucking Chambers up sideline. He had a walkie-talkie. He said, and he went back and chilling on the wall. That nigga said, he put his elbow on the wall. That nigga said, yeah, I need backup assistance over in 61 pod. Yeah, 61 pod, they over here fighting. Yeah, 61 pod. He put his walkie-talkie back. And he stood right there, watched him beat Chambers' ass. Dude like this on Chambers. Bow, bow. I'm talking, them shit was sounding off. When you knocked out unconscious and a nigga get down on your ass, man, that's some of the most scariest shit y'all will ever witness. So boom, man, he on Chambers' ass. Boom, 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 boom. He fucking Chambers up. Man, he fucking Chambers up, I promise you, man. He beat Chambers' ass. Police running that motherfucker. Grab them niggas. Got them niggas, man. This is my word. Chambers got them fucked. Chambers fucked, man. They lock us down. So I can't see what's going on because my cell's right over top. So they down there. You know what I mean? But I'm watching everybody's eyes that's across from me on the pod, in the pod. They have the view to see. So I'm watching everybody like damn, man, you looked up, you seen the motherfucking stretcher come. They put fucking the nigga Chambers on the stretcher. So they put Chambers on the stretcher. Goddamn, took Chambers. They locked the dude up. Dude don't even supposed to be in our damn block. They locked him up. They kept us on lockdown. You know what I mean? So they say we weren't even coming back out. So we stayed locked down for the rest of the night. So when we came back out, goddamn, that nigga Tim was like, shit, the plan worked. I was like, yo, I said, yo, man, how the hell did that plan end up working, man? He was like, man, shit, man, now we got him now, though, shit, we got him right now, right? right, bro. I was like, at first I was worried that we had a maniac on our hand, bro. That nigga was talking about y'all and all that shit. He was like, you was scared 2 weeks. I said, I wasn't scared. I just ain't had nothing to do with it, Tim. He was like, yeah, I know. So goddamn Tim feeling good about the thing. So the sergeant dude come back in our pod, you know what I mean? He come back, he hollered at him and shit the next day. He was talking to him, he come back telling me, yeah, dude say he gonna come back through. When he come back this weekend, he got us, you know what I mean? He was like, we can give him the $300 when he bring it. So I'm like, bet. So we can go again, let's keep getting this tobacco. You know what I mean? He was like, I'm gonna get him to bring us a bag, you know what I mean? The next time I'm like, bet, that's a bet. So I'm feeling good and happy about the shit. The nigga Chambers that went to the fucking hole, you know what I mean? So Chambers was in the hole the whole time. I'm so glad that we ducked not giving this nigga the money, man, because it was like a blessing in disguise that he told us that we can pay him when he come back. Because soon as he left and went on his break, he never returned, y'all. He never returned back to working at Lawrenceville, man. The word that came back and it was like the nigga Chambers told every motherfucking thing. Man, they said Chambers told the administration that nigga was bringing him the pack. That nigga was bringing him the fucking tobacco the whole time. He said he could prove it. He could prove that he was bringing the tobacco, man. He showed what I guess they say how he proved that he was bringing them tobacco is that he showed him the nigga Sergeant M phone number. And I didn't even know. His celly ended up telling niggas at the end that the dude Chambers used to call Sergeant M from the wall phone, you know what I mean? And talk to him like he was on the street, you know what I mean? So like, I guess that was their way of communication, you know what I mean? So he gave the administration dude number, man. So that's automatically walk off, man. Then they say he fucking told that nigga was fucking with his little sister. So like all type of shit ended up raining down on the CO, man. Like we heard from COs later on that the nigga wife left him, all type of shit, man. Like it was all fuck. He had real dirt on that nigga, man. And like me and Tim kind of made it out that shit unscathed. Like we were so glad he didn't tell on us. You know what I mean? Like he didn't involve us into that shit. And I felt like it was a good thing he didn't. I was happy that he didn't. You know what I mean? Because I really didn't have nothing to do with him getting his ass whooped. But at the same time, though, man, to see a fucking sergeant, you know what I mean, that work on a camp, man, that's somebody that has authority, like to see an inmate, man, have the leverage over top of him, man, it was wild to see, man. It was wild to see. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, man, but never seen the sergeant again, man. Tim was still over there. I dipped on him when I went back to 30 building. But at the end of the day, that shit was a crazy situation. But that's the end of the damn story, though, y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Y'all already know the count, man. Stay y'all ass out the way, man. Your family needs you, man. If you leave them, who gonna hold them down, man? Who gonna be there for them, man? You have to be there for them, man. So just stay out the way, y'all. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is the weekend banger. So what I y'all doing this one? Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. But be safe out there, people. And stay y'all ass out the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.